breaking news tonight. Just a couple of hours from now, the U.S. ambassador to Israel and the president's special envoy to the Middle East will leave the security of Israel to go to a food distribution site in Gaza. This hour, my talk with Ambassador Mike Huckabee on the world turning its back on Israel. Gloria Allred on why intrigue alone is leading the Epstein witch hunt. Plus, George Will, you got to see this, on Kamala Harris trying to make her comeback, starting with a canceled late-night host. But first, the Trump administration is sending its top officials in Israel to the Gaza Strip. It is an enormous deal. That's our Why It Matters segment tonight. Two things can be true. People are starving in Gaza. Kids are starving in Gaza. It is awful. And it is not Israel's fault. Far from it, in fact. Hamas steals most, if not all, of the food aid that goes into Gaza. That's their gunmen on top of the aid trucks. The videos are crystal clear. But these aren't the videos that most of America sees or hears about. Hamas views the suffering of Palestinians as a feature. They inflict suffering intentionally because they know our upside-down world will blame Israel rather than the terrorists. America, of course, has been steadfast in its support for Israel since the start of the war. Sort of, under Joe Biden. But patience is wearing thin among Americans. 32% of the country right now approve of Israel's military action in Gaza, just 9% of young Americans. And these are the headlines. How can you blame people for being upset? Anger over starvation in Gaza leaves Israel increasingly isolated, from the New York Times. Netanyahu's approval plunges to record lows, headlines Newsweek. U.S. support for Israel's actions in Gaza drops as Democratic opposition grows and MAGA movement splits, from CNN. Senator Bernie Sanders took to the floor last night and fought, didn't succeed, but fought for the end of arms sales to Israel.
We have the power to act, the power to force Netanyahu and his extremist government to end this slaughter. Whatever happens tonight, history will condemn those of us who fail to act in the face of these horrors.
And history should condemn those who take the side of terrorists. 20-plus U.S. senators voted to isolate Israel. It's not just in America. Leaders across the world continue to turn their back on Israel and the hostages. The UK, Canada, France, and Malta said this week they will recognize the state of Palestine. Hamas could have no better friends. But there is something else going on, and Trump understands this, because Israel is in trouble. Public relations trouble. Optics trouble.
It's terrible what's occurring there, yeah. It's a terrible thing. People are very hungry. You know, the United States gave $60 million for food, and it's a shame because nobody, I don't see the results of it. And we gave it to people that, in theory, are watching over it fairly closely. We wanted Israel to watch over it.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.